Coach, I got two for you. First, on your time with Spo, how well did you know him before you guys started spending time together with Team USA, and how well do you know him after?
We didn't know each other that well before. There was always just, a conversation after the games when we would play. I've always just had great respect for him. We knew each other a little bit before I started coaching because I did a lot of Heat games, working television. So I just always thought he was a great coach, and so it was kind of automatic when I got that job to call him, and he said yes immediately, and so we know each other pretty well now, and he's just an incredible person and coach, and I loved every second of that experience with him.
Second question for you is about the draft. I know you guys selected Brandon at 19. Jaime was there at 18. Your familiarity with him, was there a chance that you guys could take him there? And then what is your take on him and how he's developed over this season?
It's funny because you brought up Spo. We texted each other on draft night, and we both said the same thing. Said, "I love the guy you got." We love the guy that we got, but we also love the guy. So they really liked Brandon. We really liked Jaime. Shows our front offices are doing something right, I guess. They, those guys have both turned out to be really good players. But it's impressive watching Jaime play. He's strong and physical and very skilled, and obviously comes in with a ton of experience. So he made a huge impact.
So far this year, you guys rank first in rebounding, first in offensive rebounding too. Before the season, looking at the personnel, did you think, or I guess did you expect that, and do you think it's sustainable?
We thought we could be a good offensive rebounding team, something we worked on hard in training camp, and we've rebounded at both ends pretty well. So that's that's a place of improvement for us. There's other areas where we haven't done as well that we're trying to clean up, but everybody comes in to camp with an idea of something they'd like to improve on, and that was a big one for us. So it's good to see that our guys are coming through.
Hey, Steve, what's going on?
Hey, John.
I was just going to ask about Podziemski, and looks like you installed him into the starting lineup. What you like about him, what you're seeing in terms of his growth?
He's just a baller. He just knows how to play at both ends. He's become one of our best defensive players. He just has a knack. He's always in the right place at the right time. He's relentless. Every shot that goes up, he's the first guy on the screen. Like if you freeze frame you stop the play when the shot goes up, and then it goes slow motion, he's always the first guy moving. So he's beating everybody to the ball, whether it's a loose ball, offensive rebound, defensive rebound. And that kind of anticipation manifests itself in a lot of different ways. He recognizes the cut. He understands the action that we're trying to get to. So he's in the right place. It's really kind of remarkable, too, because he doesn't have a lot of college experience. He redshirted, or didn't redshirt. I think he just didn't play much at Illinois, and then had the one really big season here at Santa Clara. But for a young guy, he just has an innate feel and toughness, and he's earned the spot.
That's it. I asked Trace yesterday about the fouling. I know you've said a few times that you want that to be a lot less than you've seen, and I asked him if he thought it was a schematic breakdown, or what did he feel like was the reason that you guys can't kind of fix that? What do you think that is, and what are your hopes tonight when it comes to the foul count?
You're talking about Trace in particular, or our whole team? Yeah. We've harped on it. It's been an issue for us for the last few years. We're a pretty aggressive team, and at times we just reached too much, and it's we've really tried to hammer it home, and we've actually gotten better over the last couple of weeks. The Denver game was an outlier in terms of the last 8-10 games, so we are making some improvement. Our thing is just, it's the silly ones, it's the reaches, it's And you have to learn how to defend in this league because of the way the game is called. You just can't ever get your arm bar in an offensive player like you can in college. You got to show your hands, and so we're trying and we're getting a little bit better, but it has been an issue for sure.
Steve, there's an old saying in sports that it's better to beat your friends than your enemies because you see your friends more often. Now, with your relationship with Eric, do you subscribe to that theory?
Yeah, we just want to win no matter who it is against. It doesn't matter. I know that we all pull for each other after our experience this summer. That's a really unique experience to coach together in USA basketball. You're overseas, you're together day in and day out for 6 straight weeks, and you're trying to accomplish something that's really difficult. So you naturally just grow really close. So it doesn't mean you don't want to beat the hell out of each other when you play one another. But I definitely pull for Spo and for Mark Few and for Ty Lue every game that they're playing, unless it's against us.
I know Gary practiced yesterday. Could he return as early as Saturday?
I don't know what's the day-to-day.
Steve, considering all the injuries and the suspensions that's gone on so far these first couple months, do you feel fortunate to be at the 500 mark right now, or no?
Not really. I think we should be better. We've lost, by my count, 4 or 5 games that we should have won, and I'd say we've maybe won 1 or 2 that we shouldn't have. So I think we're below where we should be. I think we have a good team. I think we should be better than 500. I think we will be, when all's said and done. But we got to keep working, keep getting better.
Steve, you guys are back at home now. What do you want to try and accomplish with this relatively long homestand with the team?
The continued growth. I mean, we've been on a pretty good stretch here. I think 6 of 8 we've won, if I'm not mistaken. We are playing better overall. We got a lot of guys playing well. We're continuing to look at different combinations. We're still, frankly, trying to sort out what our best lineups are. So it'd be nice to win some games and have a little more clarity by the end of the homestand.
Most of the guys talk about how this year the chemistry is much better than it was last year. Do you sense that? Do you feel that? And is that something you can see both at home and on the road, or is that mostly a road thing?
No, the chemistry's great. These guys are really supportive of one another. They pull for each other. And that's really important every year, but this year especially because we have so many guys who should be playing, but every night there's going to be 2 or 3 who aren't, just based on the numbers. And so you have to rely on the quality of the people, and we got high-quality players, high-character guys, so it makes it easier for sure.
I guess just a general question, Steve. What happened in the second and third quarters that you guys could not keep this game in close at all?
Yeah, they scored 69 points in those 2 quarters, so they took control of the game. I thought that run, beginning of the second quarter, I think we were up 6 or something, or 5, and they made a really good run and had control of the game from there. So one of those nights, we've been, in every game, seems like all year. Every game's been close. We've been competitive and tough, and tonight we kind of lost that competitiveness, and just it felt like we got demoralized. Shots weren't going in, and it just they just took it to us. It's we know what's coming when 3 or 4 guys are out of the lineup. It's this is a common theme in the NBA, and especially when you play Miami, because they're going to be tough, and they're not going to give anything away. And you look at the box score; they had 7 turnovers, 26 assists. They controlled the game, so we got outcoached, outworked, outplayed.
What do you think was the biggest offensive issue?
I'm sorry?
Biggest offensive issue.
Just never got into any flow, and we weren't getting stops, so we couldn't get out in transition. We missed some shots that we normally make, but I give them credit. I just think they outworked us, outplayed us.
Steph went 3 of 15. He's kind of had a chunk of games here that the shooting numbers have been down. Do you just view it as just a kind of random slump? Are you seeing fatigue, in him?
No, it wasn't his night. I mean, this is all part of an 82-game season where, guys are going to have some tough nights and tough stretches, and I'm not worried about Steph, that's for sure. But it was just a night where we just couldn't get anything going. And again, I thought that second quarter stretch where we went from up 5 to like down 10 in about 6 minutes, that shifted the game, shifted the momentum, and we never got it back. But again, I give them credit. Spo always has his guys ready, and you know what you're facing when you face Miami. They're not gonna give you anything, and it seemed like they beat us to loose balls, beat us to rebounds, and they had some guys step up. I thought Kane was fantastic. He was, obviously Tyler Hero's their main guy offensively, but Kane stepped in and played a great game, and he was a huge factor in the win.
Steve, even when you guys were winning games, you were still looking for better defense. What do you think your defense is right now?
Well, it wasn't good tonight. 114 points. They shot 48%, and we just didn't turn them over, until the end when we put some pressure on. But at that point, it was too late. I don't think they felt us at all tonight. I think everything was pretty easy for them.
You obviously want combinations that you see work. You've talked about trying to figure out what the rotation is, what you can rely on. Maybe a game like this or some other situations are showing you combinations you don't want at some point?
No, tonight wasn't really about combinations. It was just about being outplayed and, as I said, outcoached. And they controlled the whole game, no matter who we had out there, no matter what combination was out there. So, those are things that we think about and look at all the time. But I don't think that was the issue tonight. Thank you.